Well, we're back in the Adirondacks again. There's the Adirondack Railroad on our right. Nice touring train if you want to take a ride through the Adirondacks, not too expensive. There's their tracks overhead. The first village, that real big village that you enter in the Adirondacks from the southwest quadrant is Old Forge, New York, and it's a really nice kind of a touristy resort town. It's got all sorts of bed and breakfasts and motels and things to do, antique shops and specialty stuff. It's kind of the gateway to the Adirondacks, they call it. Up there on our right is the Old Forge hardware store, which is a real neat attraction in itself. And then right up here on our left is the Strand Theater, movie theater. And on our right there is an old Howard Johnson's that they've repurposed into a new restaurant. But as you go through Old Forge, there's a lot to see and lots to look at. There is no McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, so there's a Pied Piper takes the place. And across the street from the Pied Piper is the Enchanted Forest and Water Safari, the biggest attraction. And a lot of people come here just for that, and they drive hours to get there. But we're going to go up past Old Forge to at Eagle Bay. We're going through Eagle Bay, and just on the other side of Eagle Bay is the town of Inlet, which is the town, and we need to go up to the village of Inlet, which is a couple more miles. But the village of Inlet has these banners across the road all the time. And in my opinion, the village of Inlet is kind of like driving through a strip mall. It's got a lot of little stores and tourist traps and gift shops right along the main drag. There's a couple of picnic areas, parks that you can eat at if you buy a pizza or something. It's really geared for stopping and stretching your legs, and it's a great little place if you don't want to stop in Old Forge, which can be pretty hectic with all the summer tourists in the water park people who don't give a damn about anything else. Now through Inlet, we're gonna, just as we get through the village, we're gonna see the firehouse here, and we're taking a right at the firehouse. And this is the Limekiln Lake Road, and it goes past a golf course a couple miles. So here's where we're going. We're starting up in the upper left-hand corner at the Limekiln Lake Campground. That's the road that we're following in, and we're going to follow that road where all the little tents are on the road. There's the state park entrance right there, and we go another couple miles really. But there's a right-hand turn at the very end of the road, and you take a left into this dirt road, and this is the entrance to the Moose River Plains Recreation Area. There's a gate and a sign-in shop and all this. I'm not sure if that's for campers or if that's for kayakers, boaters, hikers, and snowmobilers, because I know they require snowmobilers to sign in. But the road's a pretty good road in reality. They take good care of it. This has all been graveled. And we're going to the first intersection right here, which is really quite a ways down the road, but I don't want you to just watch all the roads, so we're going fast. So that's the Rock Dam Road. As you can see by the red arrow, that's where we are, and we're going to continue down that road. And I've never been down this road before, but you go down just a little ways and there's another gate that is open, obviously, during the season. If it's not all mud down here, they open it. And there were a couple of people camping here, but there's a campsite on the left we just passed. There's another one on the right up here. There are 15 or 20 campsites down this road, and of all the campsites as we're going through, this is on a weekend in August, there were only 3 of them that were occupied. So this obviously is not a place that a lot of people go, and everybody that was on this road was a tent camper, which I can understand. This is a fairly narrow road. It's not really narrow. You could easily get an RV down here, but if you got an RV down here and every campsite was taken, you'd have trouble turning around, except for at the very end, which is way down here where we come up to the gate. The road continues for a couple more miles as a hiking trail, and you can go down a ways to meet up with the Moose River and canoe or kayak the Moose River, though it's quite a ways for a hike. We're going to return back to the main road up at the intersection of Rock Dam Road. But what I'm calling the main road is the road that goes from Inlet to Indian Lake. It's about 31, 35 miles long, somewhere in there. I can't really find it, and it has a whole lot of campsites off the side of it, as you can see on the map. And a lot of these were taken on this weekend in August. And I think there were a lot of motorhomes, a lot of pickup campers, a lot of trailer campers, a lot of things that might not want to go down the other roads because they just don't back up well. So I think they take the main road here because it's just easier. These campsites are pretty nice, although there's not much sun that gets into any of the campsites. They're in the trees for the most part. I think there were 7 or 8 campsites where there could possibly be solar to them. Alright, we've gotten to the second intersection off the main road. And this intersection goes down quite a long ways. It's right in the middle of the main road. So as you can see, it's 11 miles to Inlet, it's 20 miles to Indian Lake. But we're going to go down to the Beaver Lake Trail and down to the Indian Lake. And this road, because it's farthest from the towns, it has the least amount of repair work on it. This road was pretty potholed, pretty bumpy. It was still a nice packed sand road, but there's a lot of low-hanging trees, a lot of things. And this road went quite a long ways in that it began to wonder if, if you were to break down with all these potholes and washout spots that or get stuck, you're not in cell service, you're not in anything. It was kind of a scary feeling to think about breaking down way out here. Also, I didn't see too many people or campers way out here, except at the very end there's a couple of trails that are backpacking trails that go quite a ways, and I did see people way out at the very end. So this was a neat exploration for me. I'm going down the road and suddenly I see this couple with this little girl walking around in the woods. And the other thing that could go through my mind is I'm kind of nervous of being this far out is that maybe they're kidnapping her and I should stop and ask her. But anyways, I didn't. But that's just strange thoughts as you're out in the woods. We stopped at this one parking area where there's a lot of trails that go off, and it's kind of the end of the road, but it's not. You can continue on. And so this is where we are at that parking area. We're past all the campsites, but the road continues on. So being in a semi-truck, four-wheel drive, we continued down the Indian Lake Road, and it got more and more like a driveway or a really unused dirt road the farther we went. There were a couple of places where this is side of a canoe launch area into a stream, so it was obviously parking area there, but the farther we went, the more the road became more washed out and more rocky. So It's not a road I would advise anybody to ever go down with a trailer or anything big, but we made it down and back. It just goes on getting worse and worse. The road here, we're going up a hill and it's pretty washed out. You can see on the right side it's kind of a stream bed, but you certainly can get through it. It's a road all the way. It's maintained, and you know, it's a built-up road. I don't think it's at risk of flooding or washing out anybody. I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but we stopped the car at the end of the road and we are surrounded by deer flies. I mean, we are in a major swarm of probably 50 deer flies. I'm afraid to get out of the car. I don't think anybody's been up this road in quite a while. I don't see any tracks or any evidence. We are a long ways inside. You know, the scary part about being way in here is that, you know, if a tree fell over, it'd be hell to get out without a chainsaw or something to cut it up. You know, it's no cell service anywhere nearby. There are reasons not to come this far into the woods now. So we are at the Moose River Plains Wild Forest parking area. There's Squaw Lake, Indian Lake, Horn Lake. We are on the main road, a bit past the halfway point, closer to Indian Lake than Old Forge. There are quite a few. They're nicely separated. Here's one right here that says a drive-through handicap site. It's not taken. One across the street from it, small. I think I've seen them before. So. But this road is a little rocky. It's been kind of scrubbed by the rain. This is just kind of the example of a handicap site. It's got the handicap marker on it, and it's not anything different really. It's got a nice gravel pad, picnic table, fireplace, and back over in the woods over here, it's a great big bathroom. Plenty big enough to do whatever. It's a, you know, one-seater, but they're in a nice spot. They're usually a little closer to the road. Well, they found something they like to do. Caesar wants to know if I'm coming in. Dakota doesn't care. He's just going out for a swim. Come on, you bum. Don't get all wet. Come on. These are campsites over here, a couple of campers over there. There's an Aliner right there. An Aliner expedition. Looks like there might be good fishing. Well, we're at the end of the Moose Plains roads, which is actually the Beaver River Road. And this is the dam and the water. We'll send up the drone and get some good shots. Come, get in.